Hello everyone, we will be starting the event soon. Wait for like 5 minutes. Hello everyone, I hope my voice is audible. My name is Adi Keshavan and I'm going to be taking the workshop today. Alright, so today our topic is Lua. Now, so today we are covering Lua. Now, as for why it is called the Embeddable Lua, this workshop, you'll come to know soon. Today we are going to start our language exploration series. We may cover more on this, or this may be more of a one-off series. We'll have to see in the future. Alright, so let us start. What is Lua, right? Lua is a programming language. This is the talk about language exploration. So most of the stuff we will be covering here will have some relation to game development. It won't be fully disconnected from game development. Yeah. So here are some uses of Lua, right? So that you can see where it's being used in our everyday lives. So if I head on over, there's even a Wikipedia page for this. As you can see, like many games use uh, Lua as like a way to create more content for the game, which is what like is the most main takeaway from this, right? Uh, as we know nowadays, it's a very big deal if you're for the longevity of a game, if your game like allows for user created stuff. So games like Osu or Minecraft, etc., will continue being relevant for a very long time because they have the ability for users to create things for the game, right? So if you want to allow such a thing, right, you will most likely have to allow for people to change some internal thing one way or another. And Lua is a very useful programming language which can be easily embedded into any application. Now, what do I mean by embedded, right? Uh, if we head on over to the yes, okay. So in oh my god. So in all of these applications, right, you can change some aspect of it using Lua, right? So for example, in the example, yeah, this Roblox, right? Apparently chat is disabled. We will work on enabling that. It should be enabled soon. So this okay, yeah, Roblox, right? As you know, you to create stuff in Roblox Studio, you have to know Lua. I do not have a picture right now, but if you just search up Roblox Studio images, a lot of stuff in in Roblox is done using Lua. Kind of looks like this. So anyway, that's use cases of Lua. Yes. So why Lua, right? Why is Lua the embeddable one? Now Lua has very tiny amount of keywords, like even lesser than Python, right? And it is made so that it is faster to run on the fly, right? So that you can just hot reload and then or hot swap the code, and then it will just immediately run very fast, right? Yeah, so it's also very portable. That is like its compiler is only very small, like it's one of the smallest. So yes, and also like there's only one data structure that you need to learn in Lua, which is called tables. Oh. So list classes, everything just comes under this one category of table. One thing to note is that Lua indices do start from 1 and not 0. Unfortunately, this is the one problem that Lua has. Otherwise, it's mostly really good. Alright, so to get started, yes, so here's the page, lua.org/download.html. If you head on over to this page, you can see like there are some available for download and so on. Just you can download from here, and once you have it installed, you should be able to call upon Lua from your command line, as you can see. So I have Lua 5.4.6. That will not matter. You can even have the earliest version of Lua, and I think most of this tutorial should work. I mean, most of this workshop should still be relevant. Yes. Okay, so file extensions of Lua are .lua, as you might have guessed. To run a program, you just run Lua main.lua. That is, it's way easier to run than C or Java, and it's about as easy as Python, as you can see. So as you might know, if you do a simple hello world program in Python, just to compare, let's say print hello world. Normally you would run this program using Python or Python 3 hello.py, and as you can see, it's the same thing. Now if I convert this, like if I just rename it to .lua, oh, yes, so I can just run it. Now this is not always going to be the case. It just happens to be that the print function is same in both. So if we now look at the code here, it's just print hello world. Yes. So to run this program similar to how we did for Python, you can just run Lua hello.lua, right? So that's it for how you run Lua files. So yeah, and this is how you do comments, as you can see. So I'll just write a comment here. Now if you want to do multi-line comments, you write them within these brackets, right? So anything within these two brackets, I'll zoom in for you guys. So this will be ignored. You can write whatever you want here. Okay, so if I Lua hello.lua, as you can see, no errors or anything. So that is the case. So here's a simple print command, as you saw. So just like Python, it does not know the difference between single quotation and double quotation. So as you might have noticed in the slide, we have multiple different versions of the same command. So how can that be? So in Python 2, when you have something like this, it puts a space in the middle. Yes, so similar to that. And you also have this dot thing. Now I will come to that later, but it's basically the string concatenation operator. So if I do this, it should print hello world immediately after each other. Yeah. So if you want to add a space, you have to add them manually. Okay. So that is comments and printing to the console in Lua. Now one question you might, okay, we are going to data types next. So in Lua there are apparently 8 data types. Only a few of them are relevant in our case. So we have one called nil. I'll show them right here. Nil is basically the null of Lua, or none in Python, null in C or C++, yes, or Java. So now if we use various values to show the types, so if I print 1.23, print type 23, print type of hello. Booleans also exist in Lua, as you might expect. Yeah, and also tables. Here's a very empty, this is an empty table. So if we print this to the console, as you can see, we have nil, number, string, boolean, and table. To get the type of the data, you can just pass it into the type function. So type of 23 will return a number. Now next is yes, so how do you create variables, right? So in Lua you have the the global scope and the local scope, which is basically like you can use this variable anywhere in the program, but this variable will only be one second. So this will be global and this will be local. So like I, I think we can showcase it here. So if I try printing variable, if I print variable, the one without, so as you can see, wait, I'll just remove the rest of the lines. So if you remember in C and any other language, you can do this, right, for scoping. Like so anything within these lines will remain as one scope. So similarly for Lua, if you want to do scopes, you have to do end. We'll come to that later. But basically if you have a local variable, it will not exist beyond the scope, and whereas variables without the local keyword will you can access them anywhere in the program. Yes, so as you can see, like, yeah, so nil is basically the null value, but I've given local here. But if I move this line over to here, local global. Now as you saw me type, right, this variable is capital whereas this variable is small. Now if I if I try to do a global variable with small v, my editor will actually throw an error, or like it will try to warn me saying like, hey, you should probably like make it small. But yeah, here you go. So global variable in lowercase initial, did you miss local or misspell it? A convention in Lua is that you should name your variables starting with uppercase if it's global, or starting with lowercase if it's local. So if I do local, the thing will go away. Okay, so now as I said, like, you can use the type function, remember, to show the what is that, the type of the value. Now you can also convert strings to numbers using the toNumber function, as you might expect from a name like toNumber. Okay, so 1 2 3, we're gonna print type of A, and we're gonna print the type of toNumber A. So as you can see, it converted A to a number, getting rid of the useless. So at first we printed the type of normal A, which is a string, and we printed the type of toNumber A, which first converts the string to a number, and then we are printing the type of that. For yeah, okay. So now we are going to talk about string handling in Lua. I mean, just strings in general. Just like any other language, like, you define strings using double quotes or single quotes. So using the hashtag symbol returns the length of the string. So if I did this, as you can see, it's a number. what does it return? Three, because it's 1, 2, 3. Now just like all other languages, slash and slash t, all of these also convert to their various escape sequences. So if we just do hello slash n world, as you might expect, the hello comes in the first line and the world comes in the second line, right? So hello world. Now these are the string yeah, so these are the string like functions. So before we get to that, right, now I said like there's no there are no like data types other than the simple ones and table, right? So what do you think will be the type of this string? It's a table. So as you can see in Lua, everything is either tables or one of the like the primitive ones. So yes, so let us use some of these functions. So as you can expect, lower, upper and len exist, but if you want len you can just use hashtag, but only if you have the constant, I'm pretty sure, like the literal. So I do not think this will work. Okay, so instead of string.len you can use that also. So yes, so you have the two ASCII stuff. So like if I want string from ASCII, sorry, this is from ASCII, right? Gives the ASCII character, yeah. So if I give 65, it'll give print A. Now we also have the reverse, which is if I give A, it will get me 65. So write 65. So all of these exist, as you can expect, like string repeat gives the string 10 times separated by this thing. This is basically the like in Python this would be something like so if I have a string called 1 2 3 print a times 10 dot join. Now it's just big, right? If I list has no attribute join, I swear it had. Okay, okay, anyway, so like you can join, wait a minute, oh yeah, string dot join, yeah, sorry. So if we go to here, so string dot join, if we do 8 times 10, oh my god, join doesn't apply. Alright, I also have to give a split, I guess. I think you get my point. This is like, okay. uh, why are you doing this to me today, Python? Okay, so join for string objects doesn't apply to list. Join cell. Okay, am I doing this wrong? Okay, fine. So one more thing. Okay, so as you might expect, string 10 might actually work what I was intending Python over here to do. So let me go back to my Lua file. So if I do a is equal to 1 2 3, so string dot rep a, maybe 3 times with a space will give us 1 2 3 space 1 2 3 3 times. We should print it. I don't think I'm printing it. Yes. So yeah, simpler in Lua. Okay. Yeah, find is just like the find in any other language, C++ or Python. Match, as you might expect, checks if the value is the same. String dot match a. Oh wait, this is a regex thing. Okay, so it seems that it also accepts regex. So a2, I think. Yeah. Yep, it just returns whether it matches or not. So if I don't have this 2, I think it'll just return a nil. Yep, okay. So if I do a slash d, um, you know what, just 0 to 9. As you can see, it matched the first number it saw. So if I put something in the starting, 1, and if I put a number in the middle, 5. So it does regex matching. If you don't know what regex is, it is a system of so it's a language. So I think this will explain regex more than I ever could. So it's like a language that you can match expressions with. So let's say I have this is a sentence. You can search for is, you can search for words, you can search for numbers. So if I give a slash d, so it matches any digit. So but if I want multiple, I can give a dot like this, so it matches this. But I can also give a so as you can see, it matched this entire thing. So this is basically like as it says here, so match any digit, right? Match it 0 or more times, match the dot character. So dot in general is just any character, right? So if we have to escape it as backslash dot. Anyway, so this is basically like a system of it's not important that you know this right now, but just know that it's a system for like pattern matching and all that in a string, right? So you can use that in string.match. Sorry. Okay. Now conditionals. Okay, there is no example. Oh, here it is. So in Lua, let's first do normal conditionals, then I will talk about the relational operators. So local name equals Adi, that's my name. If name equals Adi, then print you are the I don't know, admin, else print you are not the admin. So if I run this, as it says you are the admin. Now if I replace this name with I don't know, some random person, hope there are no Ashwins in the audience. So you are not the admin. Okay, so now how do I make this interactive? I think somewhere it's mentioned, yes. So string is equal to io.read. io.read is how you get input from the user. So if you give an io.read, if I okay, I have to ask it to enter my name. So print enter your name. Enter your name. Adi, you are the admin. Rupesh, you are not the admin. So simple conditionals. Now if you specifically hate someone, right, you can blacklist them from your server. So you are not allowed. Oh sorry, you are allowed. We are doing a blacklist, right? Allowed. So now how do I stop this Adi person from coming into my server? How do I stop this Adi person from coming? You do a not, but not does not exist. As you can see, my editor here is saying that you should use this operator instead. So you should use tilde equals for not equals. So now if I say Adi, I am not allowed. But if I give good old Rupesh here, he's allowed. So that's that. You can also, just like any other programming language, give greater than, lesser than, greater than equal to, lesser than equal to, equals, and so on. Yeah, so wait, so as you can see here, now just like Python, it does have a elif in Python. Now in C you just go if, else if, and this is, it's not like it's not allowed, but you'll have a bunch of if thens, right? So if a equals 3, you'll have then, and then you'll have to end the then, and you'll just have a lot of like ends. So instead you can give a else if to remove this. I think you have to give that. So there you go. So name equals, now I want to blacklist someone else too, but I want to give a special message for them. What is happening? Okay, so if name is equals, name equals you know what, Rupesh has been allowed too many times, so let's just say rate limited. So now if I enter Rupesh, hello, okay, did I mess something up? Lua, Rupesh, I am allowed. Rupesh has somehow managed to sneak past the defenses. Is there no then? There is a then, okay. So my name is, oh, Yes, so remember the ordering of your else's and elfs. As you can see here, it executes the if, and if it passes the if, it does not go to the next one. So we in fact have to reorder this. So we have to put this behind here, and we need to take this and do that. Oh, so Rupesh, rate limited, Adi not allowed, good old Ram, he's allowed. Now yes, so that covers that. Hopefully the stream is still going. I'll make a quick check. Yes, it's still going strong. Okay, so now loops. So Lua is very similar to Python in loops. You can, I mean, so Lua was made like very like early. So 1993. Python was made later. Oh, even earlier. Dang. Okay, history, I have to update my history. But like, okay, so this is how you do loops in Lua. So you have a starting. Oh, okay, and then so you have a starting local start equals 5, local end equals 10, local skip equals 15. 1 second. Yes, so local start equals 5, local end equals 10, local, oh, we should probably make the skip less than the end, so we'll give maybe 2. So I'll go 5, 7, 9, 11. Okay, so for I equal to 5 comma 15, so that's start comma end and then skip. So if you remember, we were talking about scopes, right? So this basically just makes your thing into a, like, this basically just makes your multi-liners to a one-liner. So now we will start printing these values. Oh wait, I should probably just do start, end, and then skip. So now if we print I, hello, oh right, end is a keyword, so we can't use end, so final. So 5, 7, 9, 11 as expected. Now you can also make loops run in reverse by giving a negative skip value. So if I now replace these, it goes in reverse: 5, 15, 13, 11, 9, 7, 5. Yes, so that's that. You can also do a do until loop, basically using a repeat until, or you can also do a while loop, while do end. Yeah, simple enough. So if you do an local I equals 5, give a condition of while I is less than 5 do, so I, okay, now I have to do a small letdown for you guys. As perfect as Lua is, it does not have plus plus. but you may realize that it also did not do I plus 1 equals 1. Sorry, I plus equals 1. Why is that? It does not have plus equals. So if you want to do like incrementation, you have to do it in this format. Oh, less than. So yeah, so that's one feature of Lua. So why is that the case, right? It's simple. So if you have something like this, usually the compiler has to do multiple passes to make sure that this is indeed I equals I plus 2 before making sure that this is indeed this. So for that reason, the developers have decided not to add this functionality into Lua, because that would make the compiler like multi passes and therefore slower to run. So in order to make their like compiler faster, they have like not done this feature. That's one of the like reasons why it's not there. Another reason could just be they hate plus equals. Who knows? So yes, so we know about io.read as well as toNumber. toNumber converts any strings to a number. Yeah, so to do we were just using string equals io.read, right? So io.read actually has things that you can give into it, as you can see here. So reads a numeral and returns it as a number, reads the whole file, reads the next line skipping end of line, and until end of line. So if you give n, good old n here, and then ask local, let's do a simple age program, since we now have this thing. So we'll check if they are eligible to vote or drive. Yes, so print enter your age. If age is greater than 18, then print you are eligible, you are a human being, yay. Else print no, you are not eligible, you are still a baby. So if I enter 5, I am not eligible. If I enter 20, I am eligible. So what happens if I maybe give an str inside? So it returns back a nil. So how do you like sanitize inputs? One way to do it is that you can convert only the n to your number. So how we do that is using this star. So if I do or not, okay, so yes, so I guess that's just a nonsense thing to expect anyway. The main reason of Lua is not to do this anyway. This is mostly only for the sake of this tutorial, right? In Roblox, you won't really be expecting people to run it on the command line and run things, so it's kind of nonsensical anyway. So but it can read and write files, which is why IO exists in the first place. Now yeah, functions. So you have two ways of defining functions. Functions are first class in Lua, unlike in C. So just like in Python, Python, yes, functions are first class even in Python. So in Lua though, they are a different kind of first class, cause like you can have an anonymous function, right? This basically is a function with no name. What is a function? It's just a block of code that executes when you ask for it. So local, sorry, let's just say print. Let's just have a normal function. Normal function. So is that how you make it? Yes. Local function. Yeah. Normal. Let's just have it return hello. I am normal. Now I will explain what these do. One second. Normal. So as you can see, like what happened here is this normal function, when you call upon the normal function, it executes this part, whatever is inside this part, and then returns whatever value like you have written to return. So if I say normal should return this value, it will return I am normal. If you have a variable and ask it to return that, it will return that variable. As you can see. Okay, so next is so yeah, anonymous functions, right? We this is how you declare a function. Now this is a global function, right? So same naming convention applies for variables. So if you have a normal variable, if you remember, you have to do like this. Global variable means first capital. So same way for a global function, you will be using this capital N, and just like if you have a local function, you will be having a small starting thing. So now you can have functions in Lua that just don't have a name, that just exist, right? You can just have a comma b return a plus b. So if when I ask for the function to run, I can also give it parameters that can this thing. I'm just saying this for the benefit of those who have not done a programming language properly, but I can do something like this. So I can call upon a and give it 5,6. That's crazy. If you're coming from a C background, you can't just give functions to a variable and have it behave like a function, but that you can do in Lua, which is one of the many reasons why it's good. So you can also like pass function. So if I have local b equals function that takes in a function, and I call the function a, passing in, oh, I should probably change the name of the u, and if I give it 4,5 here, and if I call upon b, oh, I should give the function of a, I should return this 9. So as you can see, so this is a value that contains a function, and I'm passing that as a parameter to this function that takes it and calls it with 4,5. So as you can see, despite it being like a single pass, it's so good about what you can do with it. Which is why one of the many reasons why it's like very used, right? You can kind of do stuff like this and it would run as you expected. Just like in Python, you don't need to name your types. There are ways to give like types, I think, but those are for more advanced users anyway. So yes, now we come to the tables. So what are tables? Tables are many things. They can be a dictionary, a list, or a set, right? So a normal table, you can just have like I don't know, true, false, right? If I ask for table of 1, it will return me 1. If you remember, Lua is 1 indexed. So if I Lua hello.lua, it'll print 1. So if I go to hello. So now how do I iterate through this list? That's a very common question, right? You can't just do for I in table. So how do you do this? So instead you have to do for k it gives an index first. So index comma value in pairs, I pairs index pair. So like it gives the index and the value as a pair. Table do print value. I mean, you can always just do the good old for I in 1 comma hashtag table if that works. Let's see. Do print table of I. Sorry. Okay, anyway, that was too much for this world. How do I get the length of a table? Well, good old internet. Yeah, you can just what? Okay, I was right. You should be able to get it with this, but let's see what is the error. So Lua 4 attempt to call number value for iterator. Oh, right. For 1 equals. Right. Okay. So 1 hello true false. You can do that, or you can just do this. So I have index, give it a space. You cannot concatenate string and boost this in JavaScript. So maybe like this. As you can see, 1 2 hello, 3 true, 4 false. Now next part. Let me just see if the stream's running okay. Yeah, it's running okay. So that was tables. Now tables are very very powerful in Lua, right? Table dot has many functions which I have somehow replaced by giving it tables here. So we will be renaming this to something else. Maybe TBL. Cool. I should also make it local so my editor will stop screaming at me. So if we print the type of table, it will be a table. That's kind of funny. Okay, so what is there in tables? Well, we have the insert function and the concat function. As you might expect, string concatenated of all values in the table separated by space. Table dot insert, it just inserts the given value into that place, as we will see. So let us say we have this table, right? I want to add a value. I want to add good old Rupesh here. How do I do that? A table dot insert. Oh, right. Okay, I have to tell you about that later. Rupesh, that would be at the end. Table Rupesh in the third place, cause this is Lua. I should print the table. Value in, so I'm going to be printing the table, right? So hashtag table do, oh no, I want pairs. table value. Okay, so good old Rupesh got inserted in the third, as you might expect from this. So now let's try table.concat, right? So given a list where all elements are strings or numbers, return the string this. Well, this is not that kind of thing, so let's try by 6 concat table with a separator of space 1 hellos by 6. Okay, that's good. So that's one way to print, right? So if I give something like /n, you get that. Now to move on to the more powerful part of tables, hopefully. No, we are, yes, so wait, passing tables as, yeah, you can give dot 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 to have like infinite number of arguments. I will first show you the dictionary capability of tables. Cool. So tbl is equal to hello by, right? Or do I have to give something like, one second. Yes, so this is how it is done in a table. So hello, if you ask for hello, the table will basically give you by. So let's do another example. You have to give it like this, otherwise it will get confused between keys and values, I suppose. So if I give if I give by over here, that will give me 2 or 3. Yes. So what if I ask for, now you know what's the good thing about Lua? I need not necessarily type like this all the time. I can just ask for dot hello. Now you get an insight about what really happens when I call string dot repeat, don't you? Hopefully I've figured out what this actually does. But if you can't, if you're having some slight trouble, so let me have a truth function. That is a function that takes in nothing but returns 42. Now if I call table dot truth, alright, no local, 42. So as you can see, the table contains a key called truth, which is pointing to a table, sorry, which is pointing to a function. And when you access that value, so this table dot truth value returns a function, and you can call it using this technically operator, but yeah, you can call the function. So now I think like you can sort of understand what is really happening when I call like string.rep, don't you? So as you might expect, so this let's say you're not really happy with this math module, right? Let's say I don't like that it only has pi. I want tau too. You can just do that. As you can see. So yes, so in Lua you can just access tables and their keys just like that. So you can have quote unquote extended like extended, what is that, standard libraries just by doing this. So you can have like a utils package that rather than sorry, you can have like a util file that when it is called, rather than like having its own functions like uh, function uh, get tau and then it returns math.py times 2. Rather than this, you can just have math.tau equal to 2 times math.py. So that's very useful in Lua. It's quite fun too, because you can just straight up just use math.tau here. Not right now. I do think you have to do something extra to import utils, but you can just use math.tau after that, right? So that makes tables very fun to use, because you can just act like you have a bigger um, standard library than you actually do. There's also a quick like what is that? Quick thing about functions, right? So if you have a function uh, print tables, let's say, that takes in a table and for I equals 1 comma hashtag table comma 1 do print table of I. So this is like, so if I wanted to print a literal table, that is a table that I give at that time, right? I would have to do something like wait, it won't work. So now is where pairs come into play. So key comma value, if you remember, in pairs of table, right? So we ask for key comma value. So if I run this test and hello, right? But this can get pretty long. So Lua allows one shortcut for this. You can get rid of the outer parenthesis for this specific case alone, where you're entering a table as one of the as the argument for the function. It's sometimes useful. It's very like in Lua you'll be doing basically a lot of these kinds of calls is what the makers were expecting, so they have this shortcut. Now the next point is metatables. So I do not know how much of how far deep into Python you have gone. Wow. So now if you have a test.python, let's have a thing, right? Sit. Okay, hang on. I'm okay, yeah. So if I do this, I think self other whatever self dot a plus self dot sorry other dot a whatever, right? um this is not good. Okay, so now if I have first is equal to hello. So if you don't know, this is how you do classes in Python. So if you make, okay, you know what, I'm just trying to show something and then we'll go to Lua and then try to replicate that functionality, right? So I have this new made up type that I made up on the spot called hello, just like int strings and uh, what else, float. Yes, so just like that I have this new made up type called hello, and I have made it so that when I do something like this, it returns first with first dot a equal to 2, right? So now if I call second with hello of 5, and if I print first plus second, if it should give me like 2 plus 5, which is 7. So let's test that. Or not. Hello. Oh, right, init, not new. My bad. So 7, right? So how do we kind of do this in something like Lua, where I might have to add tables using the plus operator? Well, ask no further. Just like Python, even Lua has magic functions which let you extend the functionality of tables. So as you can see here, you can overload something called add, right? So let's check this out. So let us say I have a set. Now set is a very simple thing that you can make, right? So if I have set equals just this, and then function set dot new is the same as like set dot new equals function end, right? So instead of that, we can just put set dot new in the middle. So let's call it maybe let's give it a like a thing. So how sets in Lua work is you just have like values like hello equals true, test equals true, right? So this is how sets work in Lua. This is basically the anatomy of a set in Lua. So if you want to replicate that, so what we can do is we can just set a new table, and then inside that table we can like for I in 1 comma hashtag t do set of t equals true. So if you return an array, we'll make a set out of it by setting each value in the array to true in this variable of set. So sets so if you have hello and test, this would be the outcome of this function, and then we'll return this set, right? So if I call upon set dot new and then use the shortcut to give a list, right? Now I'm going to be making my, I'll just use a no, I can't use table.concat, so I will just yeah, I'll just make a function to print set.print set end. So for I only need the key, no values, so I will just ignore the value in pairs. Also I have to fix this. This is equals. So what is this doing, right? So we are having just a set created, and then I'm just printing it here. So set do print key, right? So now I am set dot printing this. Hopefully this works. Hello Lua. Okay, that's not the, oh right, can't just have that. That too. So as you can see, hello test. Now if I do k comma v and then print, it'll just be a trues, a bunch of trues. So this is how sets are done in Lua. As for y, you can, okay, so how you remove a value from a table is as follows. So let's say you, this is important, right? So let's say you have a table like this, right? Now how do I get rid of this by? Print, my god, set okay, for I equals 1 comma hashtag table do print, oh, I should just do k comma v. Print k comma v. For I'll alter it, but I'll just print this again. So in the beginning, as you might expect, you'll have hello equals by and by equals phi, right? I will add an equal just for clarification. Now if you want to remove this by value, right, we can just set table dot by equals nil, because if you try to access a value that is not in the list or not in the table, it will just by default return a value of nil. So if we try to print table dot good morning, maybe just say good, right? As you can see, first it returns nil, right? Wait, I have to separate it so that I can show it to you. But now if I comment those out, so I'll just make a small like separation between these two. So new stuff. So hello equals by equals phi in the first one, right? And as you can see here, if I try to access a variable that is, sorry, if I try to access a key that is not inside the table, it will just by default return nil, which means if you want to get rid of a value, you can just set that to nil. So hello equals by, and there's no longer a by equals phi. There's no longer even a by equals anything. So that you can do just by setting by equals nil. And that's it. So yes, why do I even explain that? Okay, that's just how you like get rid of values if you have a value that you want to get rid of inside your table. Now meta tables, right? So let's say I have like a just like a a function which I want for many tables like this. I don't want to keep defining type dot something, right? Let's just call it print, right? Debug. Let's call it debug function debug. Why? Okay, so I want this debug function to be a part of every type that I have, right? So how can I achieve that? So what I can do is I can have a custom table which has this debug function as debug. So like, one second. Debug, right? So now this there's a thing called custom table dot debug. You can call this, right? Okay, so now I can do something called set meta table, give the original table and the underlying table that I want to be its meta table. So now I'm pretty sure I can just call set dot debug. One second. Well, at the very least you can set a underscore add. So if you have a comma b, we just for I in, so let's have a new set. Sorry, we want a new set, right? Now k comma b in pass. So we want to go through the first set A, and we want to add all of those to the new set. So we'll do what we did in the below part for the new set, right? We just take all of the values in A and then set it to true, and then we'll do the same thing for B. It's complaining that I'm doing that. Okay, so now if I return k, sorry, new set. So if I now try to, alright, I every time I make a set, I have to set the new sets meta table to, like, oh sorry, what, meta table set and custom table. So now if I try to add two sets, let's say I have two sets, let's get rid of this, set A equals set dot new hello 1 2, set B set dot new goodbye, set C equals set dot set C equals set A plus set B. This is why we did everything that we did before. So like this part is just a table that adds the functionality of adding two sets, right? Now we're setting the meta table to that like set to like for set we are setting the meta table as custom table, or just like let's make it the operations table. So if we do set dot print, it will give us both the tables combined. This is what we want. One second. Oh, it's complaining about that. Okay. Okay. So that is how you like add operations to your meta table, your tables using meta tables. Now let's just like check why that debug was not working. So let's have a debug function debug end. Okay, so at this point someone should, there should be a link in chat that lets you like, what is that, give attendance. So you should probably fill up that form, right? We are about to end right now, like in maybe like 15 minutes we'll be ending, so be sure to fill up the attendance form before you leave. All right. Okay, so next part is, yeah, why is this debug not working? Let's just print debug. So now if we go down to here and just call setc dot debug, set b dot debug. Let's just look into the internals of set b, but how do we do that? Thankfully there is this awesome tool called inspect.lua, which inspect.lua, which is just one Lua file, right? So what this does is it just prints out your table neatly instead of having to loop everything. So as you would have seen before, like I would have to have done something like this every single time I want to print something. Yeah, this one. So instead I can just do this, which makes it my life way easier. So raw, if you want this, it's just search up inspect.lua, the first link basically. So let's do that. Practice Lua here, inspect.lua. So how do I use other people's stuff inside my this thing, right? So local inspect equals require is how you do it. Inspect, hopefully that works. It dot inspect. Okay, so now if I do print inspect of set b, as you can see it has the meta table with the value of debug. How do I call upon it? Well, as you can clearly see, it does exist within the set b, right? So debug does exist within set b, which means you can probably call upon it. One second. Okay, so now would be a good time to mention that Lua also has very good docs, as you can see. So all of this you can also so the end part of this docs library shows you how you can call Lua from inside C, right? So that you can extend your applications using Lua, which is written originally in C. That's the main point of why Lua even exists, right? As like a game developer, right? You may want people to extend and create and do whatever their heart desires to whatever you create, right? So for that reason, Lua is very good as a extension language, because one, anyone can use it. As you saw, it's not like super hard or something to get to learn Lua, right? This is all like anyway too much. This you will never do in an actual Lua project. But like if you want to do something very simple, like Lua is very good, right? So that's why I am teaching Lua, and also because next week or next workshop we will be doing a game engine which does use Lua, in which time I will be like speed running Lua. I won't be like explaining all of this one by one again, right? So yes, what did I want? Yeah, meta tables. Oh right, you can just get meta table of T. So we can get meta table of T dot debug. We should call that debug. So as you can see, this does exist. So this is how you would call it. But yes, this basically allows you to extend tables, right, with more existing things. Not only can you do these things which is written in the PPT, so you can do add sub toString and call, as you may have saw in the seen in the this one. You can also do relational, like less than, greater than, equal to, not equal to. I'm pretty sure, I guess equal to, false is not equal to. Yes, so that is that. As you can see, they even have a part about object-oriented programming, so how you can emulate class functionality using Lua. So as you can see, the Lua docs is really good. You should read it. Like, there's not much to Lua, as you can see here. So reference table Lua, I think, no, reference manual. Not this one. Where's that? There is one really good part showcasing. Yes, so Lua is just this. This is every syntax to ever exist in Lua. Like, you can see it in your view, the entirety of Lua. I mean, you don't need to study this, but like, it's very simple that you can basically write it in one file. Okay, so that's why Lua is really preferred when it comes to like letting the average person like extend your applications, because it really is not that hard to learn. You can, if you like, maybe spend 2 days, you can learn, which is why this application that you're seeing right here, whatever I'm using here to edit the file, that also uses Lua to extend its code. So okay, Okay, how do I show this? Fine. Okay. This is my editor's configuration, right? And it's all just Lua. So that's that. And we won't be using it as a okay. So the next class, next workshop, right? We will be having a game engine called Love 2D, which uses Lua as an extension of itself, right? So Love 2D is technically a C return game engine, which you use Lua to basically do whatever you want with it. So if I go to showcase, I'll just showcase what you can do with it. Um, so as you can see, um, yeah, so it's not like bad or anything. So that's that. Okay, so like that's basically it for this session. I hope everyone has filled out the attendance form. We will be giving attendance based on the entries in the attendance form. So if you have not filled, like we won't like it, you may or may not get attendance. So make sure to fill it up. All right. So thank you for coming. Hope to like see you in the next workshop.